Hi guys, so welcome to today's episode of the final year project series. Last episode we were able to figure out something. Well, before that, if you are new around here, you should check out the video that I will be linking at the top right now, because that's the first video of this series, and since it's not a tutorial video and it's not a standalone video, you wouldn't really understand this particular video until you start watching from the beginning. If you're new around here, this is my final year project. Supposed to build a circuit simulation software, and that's what we are doing. So I'm basically like sort of live coding it. I mean, not in real time, but like I'm recording myself coding live without actually like building a thing. I'm building it as I am talking to you right now. That's what the whole of this series is about. So we are basically building a circuit simulation software from scratch using pyqt, NGSpice, and Python, I guess. Yeah, so with that being said, let's get into the video. In the previous video, we were able to update our logic to keep track of the circuit nodes in the circuits, and that seems to be working fine. In this video, I'm going to try and set the foundation for us to actually think about simulation. And the first thing we are going to do in this video is to make sure that each component has data. Like a resistor has resistance as data, a voltage source has the value of the voltage as its data, things like that. Then also I'll make sure that there is a button at the top that you'd click, and that button would allow you to simulate the circuit. Now, before we do that, I'm going to remove this print statement here because it's no more needed. I'll remove this one too, and I guess I'll remove this one too. Right, so I've removed a couple of print statements from our canvas. Right, now I'm just going to like simulate the app so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Python app.py. That's a simulated app. That's weird. I'm going to run the app. So what I want us to do is for us to make sure that each of these components have their own value. So they have like a resistance value. One is like 200 maybe kilo ohms, something of the sort, right? And I'll also add a button at the top here for simulate. So like the button just says simulate. When I click on that, I expect simulation to occur. So I'm basically just going to do that. Right. Forgot to set my timer. I said I'm going to set it to 20 minutes because I think we are not going to spend much time here. Right. Now, before we do that, I want to update the should I say? I want to update the architecture that over here. Okay, so I do have it over here that each component should have a data. That sounds weird. Each component should have components data, right? So how I'm going to do that is by basically going back into our components. So into our components, general components. Let me close this terminal. Now this. Inside the general component and inside the init, where all of these things are happening, I'm going to like add one more attribute over here. So component data attributes. So self.data should be called to a dictionary, so an empty dictionary, and this is supposed to be a dictionary of a string and a float. Should be a float. I think it should be a string of a list of a float and str. I'll explain what that means very soon. For now, let me import the list and the dict. Right. So what I want this to be something like this. So for a resistor, for instance, you know what? I'll just show you guys when we go to the resistor component. So for a resistor, update data attributes, and this would be something like self.data should be equal to. See, for a resistor, it's supposed to have a resistance, right? So it would have something like this: resistance. I don't know if I should just use R or I should use like the full thing. Anyway, resistance, and this is supposed to be a list, right? So it will be a list of Then here, over here, we're going to have like the value, and the value is supposed to be this float thing I've done over here, and the str will be the unit. So the value is like maybe, I don't know, 100.00, and then this is supposed to be the units. So let's say kilo. That works, right? So yeah, this works, right? So something like this. And the voltage source components, for instance, would also update data attributes here, and we're supposed to have something like self.data to be equal to so in this case it would be voltage, right? Sorry, yeah, voltage. So I'll use V for that, and then this would be a list, and I could have something like, I don't know, 10 volts, so 10 kilovolts, I guess. We could have something like this as our resistance data. So like, this is the format of our data. I think I should link that to this somehow. I'm thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do it. So that's too much. This is actually like not part of the thing. So why don't I just like move it somewhere else, right? I mean, it's not part of the architecture, it's just some logic that we wrote in the previous video. So I'm trying to like move it to a separate location where it would be easier to have a look at. Right, so that can be there, and back here, I want us to define a structure for our data component. I don't know what shape to use here. This is actually also part of the middleware, I guess. You see, the middleware is sort of getting blurry because it has to link with the GUI, and it also has to link with the backend, so it's getting a bit blurry. You wouldn't even be able to like identify which is which. But anyway, so data attributes. Data attributes. So this is supposed to be a dictionary. And it's supposed to be something like this. So it's supposed to be a dictionary of maybe voltage, and then it will be a list of the value and the unit. So the unit here would be like a string. Okay, let me just like leave it how it is. So this part would be like the, what should I say, the property. So the property, and then the value and the unit. So that's how like our data is supposed to be, right? Making this smaller. I actually don't know where to put this. Like, yes, where do you think I should put this? I'm doing that too. So I'm supposed to like draw a line, right? And I want to draw it from here. Right, because this doesn't inherit from that, and also we are going to have a copy of this here. This will be like simulate button, or yes, say simulate button to trigger simulation, right? Increasing this a bit, and yes, How is it that this one has a text inside and this one doesn't? Weird. But it's alright. So when this simulate button is clicked, it would send a signal to this canvas. So it's basically like the canvas is handling everything, right? So it would send a signal to the canvas, and the canvas would do a simulation for us. And when the canvas is done simulating, I guess the canvas could, like, you know, tell the simulation side to, no, actually, let's hold on to that. Should it actually send a signal to the canvas? Well, yes, it should send a signal to the canvas because the canvas has the components and everything. So that makes sense, right? Call simulation handler on canvas. Changing this font to this or this. Yep, this is nicer. So I really think that this thing should be somewhere around here. Looks nicer here than where it was, right? So if this calls a node circuit, this stuff part of the middleware, right? And maybe we can change the color of this. Should I is also part of the middleware? Yes, middleware, and how long do we have? I think I'm taking too long. In any case, so back to our code. So we are done with like setting the data, right? Now that simulate button here is actually part of the main window. So I would have to go to like the main window here, and inside the main window itself, I'm basically going to do the same thing that I did for the wire tool over here. So adding actions. So add action or add simulate action. So should I call it button action? Weird. I think I should call this one wire action or something. Refactor, change all occurrences, wire action, wire button action, wire tool. Yeah, that's better. Oops. Yeah, and this will be like simulate button, and this will also be a queue action. Sorry, right? And it just have like what simulate on it, and it's also and this will be like what I'll do simulate button dot add status tip, a set status tip rather. And I'll be like simulate circuits on canvas. So simulate current circuits on canvas, and when the simulate button is clicked, so when it's triggered, I want to connect that to self dot, on simulate button click. Right, I'll define that soon. Anyway, I think this can go up here, right? Then I can do the same thing over here. Toolbar dot add action, and I'll add the simulate button. Define, and I'll do on simulate button click. I'll basically do self dot canvas dot on simulate button click. So I'll be calling the on simulate button click of the canvas. So when I go back to my canvas here, basically just going to define a function for simulations, right? I don't know where to put that actually. Underneath everything, this file seems to be getting very long, but anyway, define on simulate button, click. So and this should just print what? Simulating, and we go. When there are also some components, also like print out the data of the component. So for, I don't know, for component in self.components, print out component. I should do, this is a dictionary, so dot values. I should print out component dot data. I didn't define a type for this. All right. So this will be a dictionary of the. This will be a dictionary of the IDs, right? So str, and this would be component. So general component, right? Right. Okay. So that works. Anyway, let's run the app and see what's up. This is the simulate is not showing here. Why isn't it showing? Why isn't it showing? Oh right, I think it's because I didn't give it a I didn't give it a parent window over here, so it doesn't know where to show. Instead of me passing the self, I ended up writing the self in here like this. Wow, Paul. Wow, Paul. I think that should solve it though. Yeah, like I said, that works. And then after, I think I can move this back up here and also do this. Right. Running the code again. You know, building some circuits to just, I don't know, building something, I guess. So imagine like someone building this and building this, and you have something connected like this, right? And you end up like maybe connecting this and connecting this, and then you person clicks on person clicks on simulate, and then obviously my simulate function says that's what simulating, and it's able to get the values of all the components in here. So like you have something like this, right? So what I'm going to do inside this simulate function is to call another I don't know, simulator object or something from our simulation backend, which will basically take in every component and the nodes. You know, if you have the nodes and the components, the only thing that's needed is the value, and I would be able to do the simulation. And if you'd also realize you can't actually change the, this third pane over here is supposed to be the attributes pane, right? This way we are supposed to be like, oh, if I select this resistor over here, I could change the value of that resistor. So if I select this voltage source, I could change the value of that voltage source, as in the voltage across its terminals, right? But right now I won't be able to do that because I've not actually done anything here. I guess we'll like do that in the next couple of videos when we are trying to like complete the GUI aspect of things. But right now, I guess this is what you have. I've added the, the simulation button at the top here for it to work. Anyway, my timer is going off. Guys, I thank you for watching this video. It's been 20 minutes, and we'll end this one here. We'll see you guys in the next one. If you're new around here, don't forget to check out the beginning part of this video and actually like follow this series, because it's not a tutorial series, right? It's not a tutorial. I'm not teaching anything. I'm basically building something. So if you're interested in what I'm building, go check out the first video and follow through the videos to check, like, to actually understand what is happening over here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.